Hi there, this is Saver Crypto. Okay, so it's my second video of the day, and I promised this one would be a lot more positive, so I'm going to keep it positive. Okay, so I just want to answer a few questions and clarify a few things. One of the questions a lot of people ask is, how much do you need to invest to earn $100 a day? I think from my initial experiments, I think you'd probably need about 5 EGLD. So at the moment that would be something like $2,000, something like that. I think that would earn you about $100 a day. Obviously, as the APR goes down, that could get less. But the way the Denver strategy works, which is the one I'm using, the way that compounds, I don't think it will actually go down that much until we get down to really low kind of percentages. But we'll see anyway. But I think for the moment, something like $2,000 would earn you about $100 a day. That said, don't do anything stupid like go and get a loan or something like that. Don't use money you haven't got. Just if you haven't got the money, just don't do it. Some people have said, I'm broke, I've only got $50, and I still do the strategy. Now, the problem with using a small amount is that you're only going to be able to harvest when you've reached $20 worth in your farm. So, for example, these ones that I've recently harvested, these two I can harvest now because they're $24 each, and you can just do that. These ones here are smaller, they're just at $3.79, so I can't harvest those. The way the Denver strategy relies on working is basically you reinvest your gains, so you have that kind of compound effect. Now, if you get a very small amount, you're going to compound really slowly. And a lot of the thing about this Denver strategy is getting in there quickly and making the most advantage of the first 9 weeks. So with $50, you'd probably make some money. I don't think you'd quadruple your money, which is what I'm hoping to do at least. You might do eventually. I would say it might be worth it to learn about yield farming, and your money would increase, but generally everything would happen a lot slower. When I first set this up, I was using 3.5 EGLD, and that was pretty good because I was able to harvest on a daily basis, see it all going back into the farm, and the compound effect starting to happen. So another question was about how often should you harvest? What I do is I've got these two farms that are quite large. They're made out of EGLD that I had already, plus the airdrop of MEX that I got because I was staking in Maiar back in April. Now the output of these farms go into these farms here. So these farms are just total profit. What I tend to do is when these are up to $20, I'll harvest the whole lot. But for you, if that means that you're only harvesting once a week or something, then what I would probably do is when these two are over $20, I would do a harvest then. We had a little discussion in the comments the other day, and I think we came to the conclusion that something like $80 profit is the kind of sweet spot for harvesting. If anyone's good at maths and they can work it out better, then please let me know. But for the moment, I'd say about $80. Some people asked about how you would withdraw liquidity. Now, first of all, I'll say two things about this. One, don't. Because of this, Elrond are going to do a 1.29 billion USD Maiar Dex liquidity incentive program where they're going to reward people who are staking with $1.29 billion. That's a lot of money. And, if we're all getting a little share of that, I think that's going to be worthwhile leaving your money in there, certainly in these initial first few months. So I wouldn't withdraw liquidity. I'm certainly not going to. If you did want to, I believe the way you do it is you come to one of your farms and you click withdraw. You could say how much you wanted to withdraw. So you say maximum. And then it would show you here that what you're going to get your LP, your liquidity providing tokens, and in this case locked MEX. Once you've done that, when you come over to liquidity, you'd actually see it here. So I suppose to demonstrate this, maybe I should do a little harvest. Okay, so what I did then is I just did a harvest, and the MEX that I had, I turned into EGLD with the swap function. Then I combined it with some MEX to produce this LP token. Now, if you'd done a withdrawal from a farm, this is what you'd see here. So if you wanted to turn this back into its components and put it back into your Maiar wallet, you would click here, and here where it says remove, you'd click that. I'm obviously not going to do that, but if you hover over this eye, you can see here. So I believe here you would get your EGLD back, and in this case you would get locked MEX tokens, and this is the unlocking schedule here. Now for somebody who wants to withdraw their money quickly, what you need to do when you're creating your farms is you don't tick that ×2 multiplier, and then you'll create MEX that you can then turn back into EGLD using the swap function. If you've got locked MEX, you can't do anything with that apart from using it as we've been doing to make new LP tokens, or you could just put it into the straight MEX staking. So you just go stake there, and then you select your LK MEX there and leave it there until the MEX becomes unlocked. And of course any EGLD you had, you would see here like that, and I believe you'd also see that in your Maiar app on your phone. So a lot of people are asking about the unlocking schedule for MEX. Okay, well this is all explained in this document here. I'll leave a link for this in the description and you can have a read of this, but basically it starts unlocking on the 15th of December 2022, and then it finishes unlocking completely on 14th of May 2023. Now, a lot of people have been asking about the value of MEX. I was quite shocked to see this comment here from Dan Yedel. He said, I have no questions for EGLD. I'm sure the token price will go over $1,000 in the next few months, but it does seem like MEX is a worthless shitcoin. Since the start of farming, the price has dropped by 3 times. The token has a huge circulation, and I see no reason to increase the price. Yeah, you're wrong. The point being that nobody has been able to get hold of MEX at all since 10 days ago, the exception being the ones who got airdropped the MEX, like myself, from staking on the Maiar app in April. This is a brand new cryptocurrency. This is like the genesis of a new crypto, and this is going to be more like Uniswap or PancakeSwap, but it has so much more functionality, and so does the Maiar Dex. So if, for example, to look at the price of Uniswap that was kind of introduced in the summer of 2020, I mean, Uniswap in my mind is a dreadful decentralized exchange because it uses the Ethereum network and it costs a fortune to swap anything. You know, where Maiar has advantages, it's using the Elrond blockchain, where gas fees are almost nothing and just fees are going to be nothing. It's just going to be so much better, so much faster. But if we were to look at the initial price of Uniswap, for example, it was 26 cents. So if we look on the chart, so that would have been down here. This is 26 cents there. So from 26 cents to today's price, that's an increase of 9,344%. Quite a lot, isn't it? To the all-time high was actually 20,159%. So I think the MEX token has this kind of growth in it. You know, I think we're talking thousands of percent that it can grow. And I'm not alone in thinking this. I mean, this article here on coinmarketbag.com, I'll leave a link to this in the description. I mean, this guy here is talking about the possibility of like 1 cent for MEX. So that's something like about a 1,200x from where we are now, which is quite feasible, I think. And that would certainly make me very happy anyway. Now, a lot of you have been worried about the falling APR because it started off at, I think it was the first day, it was almost like 5,000% APR, and now it's down to about 1,000 after 10 or 11 days, I think it is. The falling APR, that's just a fact. That's what's going to happen when you're providing liquidity. Basically, the more people that provide liquidity, the more the APR is going to fall. And the strategy that we're using is this Denver strategy that relies on accumulating as many EGLD, LK-MEX, LP tokens as possible until the target is 150% APR. And then what happens after that is the farms get reconfigured to produce just straight MEX, not locked MEX. So basically after 6 months, this farm and this farm will be reconfigured to produce MEX. And then you can use the swap feature here to turn it into EGLD. EGLD you can turn it onto whatever you wish. You can turn it into USDC if you wish, or you can just sell it and buy Lambos with it. But even now, with 1,000% APR, the APY is still greater than 10,000%. And if you see here, right, the APR, not including the LP rewards, is currently 1,061%, but the APY is greater than 10,000. So it says here the APY refers to the compounded interest accrued from a particular investment over a 1 year period. APY reflects more accurately the expected yearly returns of that investment. And this is talking about compounding once a day, and the LP rewards aren't even taken into account yet. So you can see even now that even the APR has dropped to a quarter of what it was. The actual APY is still absolutely huge. And the way we're doing it with the Denver strategy is it's compounding all the time. So the returns of this are just huge. Now, there are a lot of people are worried about impermanent loss, which is just a feature of liquidity providing. If you watch this video here, I'll put a link in the description. Watch this video because this guy explains impermanent loss really well. Basically, it's just not an issue. I'm sick of talking about it, but it's not an issue unless you withdraw liquidity from the pools. And I have no intention of doing that for a long, long time. And by then, I will have lots of MEX. I'll have lots of eGold. I won't care about impermanent loss. In fact, I don't care about it now. So watch this video. Anyway, it's getting late here now, and both my children are in bed now, so I better be quiet. So this is Sabre Crypto saying thanks very much for watching the video. Please do like, subscribe, leave a nice comment, tick the notification bell, and above all, tell your friends.